going to be late.
Howdy, partners and buckaroos. Welcome to the Haunted Chronicles, episode 235. In 1978, Gloria Gaynor sang the song, I Will Survive. Right. Mm-hmm. Well, me and Jen had some stories and news prepared to share with you guys, but we did a last-minute switcheroo, so thank you, Jennifer and Dr. Dave, for your patience. We did some last-minute changes. Mm-hmm. And we're gonna Lorraine Warren passed away last night. If anybody didn't know, and we're gonna talk about Lorraine a little bit and play some clips later. So unfortunately, we do have a sponsor by the name of Oscar Mayer today. At Oscar Mayer, we believe you deserve the best. It's one of the original principles we have founded on. Since our humble beginnings more than a century ago, we use the yellow band to signify our promise of quality we put into everything we make. Now, a word from our sponsor.
Oh, I'd love to be an Oscar Mayer wiener. That is what I truly like to be. 'Cause if I were an Oscar Mayer wiener, everyone would be in love with me. Oh, I'm glad I'm not an Oscar Mayer wiener. That is what I never want to be. 'Cause if I were an Oscar Mayer wiener, there would soon be nothing left of me. Oh, I'd love to be an Oscar Mayer wiener. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Everyone would be in love with me.
I thought they'd never stop. Thank you, Oscar Mayer. I am Mr. Haunted, joined by, listen to this one, Jen, the RH negative, alien blood, snake holding, ghost busting, Jennifer stuck in the car because of a bee swarm, Runyon.
Woo! That was a mouthful, Jimmy.
Holy mackerel. So what happened? What happened?
Oh, geez. I literally parked my car to go into the market, and I swear to God, this swarm came up over the front of my car, and it was all around my windows. I mean, I could not get out of the car. And I sat there for like 15 minutes, and finally a police car pulled in next to me, and the sheriff got out of his car and walked to the store. So I thought, well, I guess I'm okay. If the sheriff can do it, I can do it. So I got out, and I just kind of walked away very quickly. But when I came out, they were gone. But it was scary. There were so many of them.
Did you see? I don't know if this is true or not. I just saw it go by my feed. Mm-hmm. That there's some kind of bees they keep on top of the Notre Dame Cathedral.
Yes, I saw that.
And like they survived the whole thing.
Yes, that they have the bee houses. What do they call the hives? And they nurture bees. They care for them. They care for them. That's the word I'm trying to think of. But the bees, they saw the bees humming. They saw them swarming around, which is incredible. Oh. It's amazing. That's cool.
So
very cool.
Yeah. Again, we did a last minute switcheroo.
Yes.
And I was trying to go through just to show a little bit of the influence that Ed and Lorraine Warren had on us. I went through the past guests, and these are the ones I got that were like directly related to the group, or anyways, directly associated with them. These are our past guests. Ready? Tony Spira, Dan Rivera, Frank Chiafari, John Zaffis, Ralph Sarchi, Rick Clark, Chris Galoran, Karen Smurl, Glenn Pinnell, Scott Hafferstat, Maureen Gomez, Marty Stalker, Chris Patterson, Andrea Perrin, Joe Frankie, Dave Considine, to name a few, were all guests on our show.
Wow. That's so cool. Look at the influence that Ed and Lorraine had on so many people, and just a sad day. Sad day.
Well, the show must go on.
Yes, and we're gonna honor her today.
We are, and we're gonna keep with tradition and do breaking news.
Ooh.
Let's bring that up. Right? I can't find my breaking news.
That's never good.
It's wait, I want to find it. If not, I'll talk about Leslie's an artist. Okay, ready?
Oh, yes.
This is just a small little story I found.
Okay.
Did you hear that scientists restored some function in the brain cells of dead pigs?
No.
Yeah. A Yale University, right down the street, Yale University research team have revived brains of dead pigs hours after they were killed in a slaughterhouse.
Whoa.
Well, this is like controversial, but it also could be miraculous, and it's raising some ethics concerns and stuff.
Okay, so what do they want to do with these brains cells?
I imagine the future is like to try to figure out how to do this to us. I'd imagine, I
go ahead.
No, I didn't do enough research on it to know exactly what's going on.
Look at me! I want to know why. Why?
Yeah,
what are they going to do?
But
wow.
I'm saying, do you want zombie pigs?
No,
because this is how you get zombie pigs.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, we don't want to. You know what? We have a lot of pig stories. You notice that?
We do. We do.
I want some psychologist to please let me know why I do stories on animals of the farm. We did the cow falling through the roof. We did the pig driving the car. We did the drunken pig that, remember, the drunken, I think it was the drunken boar that was beating up all the campers and then beat up a cow and did a victory lap in the pool. Then he died.
Oh my God. Oh, bless his little heart.
Just remember the story about the little frog or it was a turtle that they were trying to give CPR to?
It was a turtle, was it? It was a turtle.
Yeah, it was a little turtle, and they're trying to give CPR, and he was pressing his fingers in the turtle's belly.
On his little underbelly.
Yeah, and he said every time he pressed his arms and legs went out.
You and I are so bad. You and I are so bad. We laugh at the stupidest thing.
But it's funny.
It is kind of funny. I can just see it. Whee! Whee! Whee!
I think he made it, so we can laugh.
Oh, yes. It was a successful CPR session.
Thank God.
Oh, my God.
I do have some celebrity birthdays for you.
All right.
So play along in the chat, fellas, and on all our pages. Okay. First one. We've been doing this forever. Queen Elizabeth. Since 1952, Elizabeth has been the Queen of the United Kingdom and other Commonwealth realms. And on April 21st, is that today? I don't even know.
No, Sunday.
All right, she has a birthday.
On Easter Sunday this year.
Oh.
Oh, Queenie, happy birthday. I'm going to say, I don't know, but I think if I remember correctly from last year, she's in her 90s now. I'm going to say 92.
Correct. She's 93. Okay. Excellent. You can relax. Pressure's off.
Mm-hmm.
And isn't this ironic? We were just talking about this before we went on.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson.
Oh, we're doing our impressions before the show. Yeah.
we do impressions, and they're really bad. Mine are bad. Okay.
No, mine are bad.
Nicholson is known for Mars Attacks, Wolf, A Few Good Men, The Witches of Eastwick, The Shining, and his movie credits go all the way back to 1956.
Yeah.
Nicholson, how old will he be?
Yeah, I really don't know. But you can't handle the truth. So I'm going to say 86.
82, very good.
Oh!
He's a tough one.
All right. Dang it.
And one more, and we have to do this one because it's one of our favorite movies, I
Okay.
think.
Okay.
And Margaret,
Oh, yes.
born in Sweden, Anne Margaret Olsen, in 1963, she voiced the character of Anne Margrock in the Flintstones. Remember when there's a celebrity on there just add rock to their last name?
I loved that.
And our favorite high school student from Ohio in Bye Bye Birdie.
Oh, Kim. I love her. And she was loving Hugo and Anne Margaret. Everything is Hugo. I want to say Anne Margaret is going to be 80 years old.
Very good. 78.
Okay, well, good. Okay. All right.
Okay, now. Oh,
yeah. So, Jim.
All screwed up.
Your what?
My notes.
Oh.
I got flustered on my breaking news.
Oh, don't get flustered. Okay. So, Jim, I know, you were very influenced by the Warrens from a young age. Can you tell me of your experience? Like, how did you meet them? How did you first find out about them? Tell us about it.
You know what? Because I'm from Connecticut, every year there'd be like, posters or whatever, like, the Warrens are coming to some school to do a lecture or something. And I think the first time I saw them was in 1986 or so at my college. And then,
were they speaking? Were they there to speak?
Yeah, they were doing a lecture. I never seen them before. And remember, there was no internet before. We had to go see people to find out anything. And after that, I remember I visited their museum, and I was always interested in this sort of thing. So I after I saw their lecture, they posted some, what they call like psychic photos or ghost pictures of, haunted locations. And I had a book when I was a kid that had the picture of the Brown Lady of Raynham Hall in it. Mm-hmm. And are you familiar with that picture with the lady top of the stairs?
Is it? Wait, yes, yes. I know that picture. You've sent me that picture before. Yeah.
So that was like my favorite picture ever. When I was a kid, I said, I want to take a picture like that one day because I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. Aww.
So I started going to like local cemeteries. Not that they were haunted, just you don't know how to get anywhere when you're young. So I would just take pictures in local cemeteries. But I finally found out where there's supposedly a haunted cemetery in Easton, Connecticut called Union Cemetery. And I was under the impression that the lady just walks around, this ghost, and you just take her picture. Like I thought it was like that, that easy.
Yeah.
So I was there for like at least 2 hours and I didn't see anything. So I took a roll of film just to show that I was there. And I might have never, ever done this again. But when I got them developed, I got some weird kind of mists on it and stuff. So I was curious. So I went back every weekend. I was there taking pictures. And after a while, I had a whole book. I used to have like a photo album, and I'm not talking like the orb things. I'm talking like big, foggy looking things.
Yeah.
So I had a whole book of these pictures, and then it was so popular back then that people like on the weekend would hang outside the fence and take pictures. So one day I met this girl named Debbie, who I've been wanting to get on the show since week 1. She's going to come on soon, but
good.
I showed Debbie my pictures, and then she goes, "Oh, Ed and Lorraine would love to see these." So I was like, "Well, she goes, they have classes on Mondays," and she gave me the address, whatever. So the next Monday, me and my friend Rick Clark, who's been on the show too, we went to our first class, and we were talking on the way up. I said, the pictures I got are so valuable because they're so rare, and you're gonna be a millionaire because of them, of course. And make sure, like, they might ask for them, and don't give them to them, because they might ask for them. And then we got to the class, and Lorraine were like so nice, like, "Let me see your pictures, honey." And she goes, "Oh, can I have these so I can make slides of it?" "Yeah, here you go." I just gave her everything.
But that's so you. You know, you're just so you are very trusting and open.
Well, you know
I
what's
love that
cool
you do that.
is they still use a few of them in their shows sometimes.
Oh, that's neat. That's neat.
So that's how I met them. And then we like we said that the classes was really cool because they
Yeah.
like I said,
What was the what were the classes like? Like what would they explain like different cases or what?
well they would teach us like, how to investigate like because remember this is another thing I wanted to mention. Remember that thought, but I wanted to say a lot of people tell me how come you've seen this and that, and you know, and I've been doing this for 20 years and I haven't seen anything or heard anything. It's like back then they were the only people doing this. Like as far as I know, in New England or the East Coast, so they were getting like, every case there was, and they were getting the worst of the worst. So we would only go to the worst cases. So you know now there's a group on every block here, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyways, your question was, what do they do in the classes?
Yeah.
So like I said, they taught us how to like investigate. Like if we go to a home, like you know they tell us to you know first get an interview and they give us a bunch of questions to ask the people. So it's you know you have a uniform report on all the cases you do.
Right.
And back in the olden days, this is interesting. We like you know how people do EVPs now and you get them immediately, like you record and then listen right back.
Right.
Back then, we just had a tape recorder, and like you leave the tape recorder like for an hour, like in a quiet room or something, and then you have to go back home and listen to the whole thing. And now we have better stuff. But the real interesting part was, you know, you only hear little bits and pieces of their stories, but when we went to the classes, they would show us the original, you know, videotapes or audio tapes from beginning to end. From the
Oh, that's so cool.
I always like the interviews with the people most, you know. Like, yeah, and then we used to go in groups to investigate homes, and what they do is usually on Mondays they bring in a recording of their answering machine, and all week they just get calls. We need help, and we'd go through them all and pick the ones that
wow.
needed help first. Usually with like you know something that was violent or with you know children involved. So we'd all you know.
Now were the classes filled? I mean, were a lot of people going to these at that point? I mean, because I can only imagine now if they were doing that now, it would be you know waiting list.
Exactly. Sometimes there were like 8 people, and sometimes like 20. It wasn't that big. But there was a lot.
That's cool though, because you really got a hands-on experience with them. That's incredible.
And like you said, now there'd be like a waiting room for the people waiting.
Waiting list. To even
keep talking about the olden days. Hey, little Heidi's in the chat. Another thing is when we used to go, like suppose we went to a case somewhere and we came back at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, we go to the same diner afterwards, and like you know people used to whisper like weirdos, and you know because they knew who they were, and they used to say stuff, and it's like now they'd be asking for their autographs, right?
Yes. Right.
So things have changed.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have.
Wow. So yeah, we did that, and then sometimes on a Monday we'd have the class, and then I remember once we went to 3 different houses after, like just to get the initial interview. Like they used to go to like a dozen cases a week, easy sometimes.
Yeah.
A lot of cases.
Wow.
And then you know what I have? Like I said, we kind of did this last minute, so I tried to find some clips on the net so you can hear stories firsthand from Lorraine. And so I'm trying to find clip number 1 is clip number 1 is it's a Warner Brothers featurette from 2013, and they're talking about Lorraine and Ed's museum and the upcoming Conjuring movie. Cool. So we're going to hear clip number 1 momentarily. Thank you.
Hello, clip number 1.
So.
Okay. Our producers. He left for a second. Okay, so.
Do your Jack Nicholson impression.
I'll do my Jack Nicholson. I'm sorry, guys. Excuse me. So Jim,
He's back.
when you met Father Malachi, was that through the Warrens?
It was. That's another thing.
Okay.
Thank you for bringing that up, because not only did we do, instructional type things, they'd have special guest speakers every once in a while.
Yeah.
I remember Ralph Sarchi came. He had the New York chapter. Malachi Martin came to talk to us, and we wouldn't be doing all this stuff right now with those movies without that class right there. So Dave's
Yeah.
back, our producer,
Yes.
and he's going to play clip 1 for us.
Okay.
He said it's a featurette from Warner Brothers.
The first time, when he ended, beginning and ended with the same kind of weird signal that came my way. It was probably in the notes because I've been asked enough about it. But after my first creative conversation, I had done hours of research watching her in interviews throughout the decades. And then James and I had to make the decision whether I was going to take the role. And so James and I had a creative conversation. At the end of it, I said, Patrick's in, I'm in. And I opened my computer and there was these claw marks across the last day after we got back, flew home from North Carolina where we filmed, and the next morning I woke up in my own bed. And the same claw marks appeared on my thigh.
Oh, wow.
Because we have to quote, and we have to have some holy water all the time.
I was cool with that. I did my own holy water. You know what I mean? I really do. I felt fortified by my own
Yes, faith. Yes.
And my prayers were enough to kind of just dissipate whatever that thing that was trying to scare me, you know?
Intimidate you.
Yeah.
And they do.
Yeah.
And they do. Definitely,
Yeah.
they do.
And I don't dwell on it, so I don't give it that power. I don't give it that, you know? I think I don't.
Wow.
Yeah, were you able to understand that?
Yes.
It was a lot
It was the
easier with
actress. It was the actress talking to
Yeah.
Lorraine about
That was
what
the-
happened to her.
Vera Farmiga talking about
Yeah.
she was not sure about doing the part or not, and she had would she have 3 slashes on? Would you say her computer or something?
Yes. Wow.
And I think she said the next morning she had them on her thigh, and she was showing a picture of her phone into the camera on YouTube. So that's if you look that up, it's
Wow.
what's it called? Yeah, it's called the Conjuring featurette. It's called Strange Things. So if you want to look that up on YouTube.
Wow.
And I thought it was going to be a different
A different clip?
Yeah.
I'm sure the next one we do.
Dave, do you have one of the shorter ones?
I have. Let's see. That was the shortest one.
All right.
So the next one I had, clip 2, was 5 minutes and 27 seconds. It says Lorraine Warren full interview. Then there's Vice and the Conjuring present the Devil's Hour, and then which is 3 minutes 50 seconds, and the Conjuring with the real Lorraine featurette, 4 minutes 13 seconds.
Yeah, so probably let's do this after a break because we only got like
Yeah.
3 minutes left. Any other questions, Jennifer? You asked good questions.
Oh. Well, good. I'm so glad. Do I have more?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys do Evening with Annabelle.
That's a good
You know,
question.
I did not hold on. I did not know a lot about Annabelle until I got to know you. And I'm just curious, that whole story with Annabelle, when they with the nurse, and you know, they end up saying it's the little girl Annabelle Higgins, you know, possessing
more than I
the
do.
doll. Now, how do you feel when you go to the museum and you see Annabelle? Do you get any, reaction?
I don't
from
feel
it?
any. I don't feel any different, like towards the doll. I think there's more creepier items in there. like there's a shadow doll.
Ooh, what is
It's
that?
really creepy. Like, I don't know all the details, but it's a doll that they used maybe to curse someone, but it has hair and a human tooth in it.
Ooh.
So it's more creepy to me.
So now if you go to the museum, do they tour you so they can explain what every item is to you, or is there things there that you can read about it?
No,
I might be asking really stupid questions, but I've never been there.
yeah,
So.
I know what you mean. Most of the stuff is they tell you about it. Like it's not like it's a placard in front of it with a whole story, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, they should do a book. They should make a book
Just on
with
the
with all the items and the story behind these items. I would buy that book.
Me too.
That's a cool stories. That would be fun to know all the history behind some of their.
And you reminded me about the museum. We only got a couple minutes left, so I'll talk
Yeah,
about the
go ahead.
museum.
Yeah, please.
They used to do tours of the museum. Like when I went, it was a thing, and a neighbor complained about so many cars there, and it's not zoned for
For
a business.
museum. Yeah.
Well, one particular neighbor didn't like it, so they started calling the police on them. And he showed me Tony showed me the warning letters that if you do this again, you're going to be, you owe $800 or thousands. I don't remember how much it was, but so they do the events so people could see some of the items in the museum. So they'll bring them to the.
So they
event.
bring them. Yeah.
Yeah. Until they get a spot.
So unless you're a family friend, you're not really going to go in the basement of their museum and see it.
No, it's not that easy anymore.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool though. What an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm afraid to click on our button. Because I'm afraid
Oh
to
no,
click.
no, we're at break. We can go to break and then come back and
All right.
Yeah.
We'll hear some more clips.
Yeah.
All right, you're listening to the Haunted Chronicles, and we're talking about Lorraine Warren, and we'll be right back after this.
Here we go.
Welcome back to the Haunted Chronicles, home of your guaranteed halftime shout out. So, for those of you, we got some friends pages going here. Thanks for coming, William, Smog, Brian, Kimmy, Tina, and Cindy Ann. And on our other friends page, we got Debbie and Donnie, and we also have Madeline, Mary, Kimberly, Nan, and there's a lot of pages going on. Let's get this chat room. Dr. Dave, Christine, Nicholas, Deborah, Desi, Max, Kara E, Tina, Cheryl, Bobby Ann, Jeek, Heidi G. Heidi Haunted was in there before I saw her. UFO Fred, Bob, and Nan and Adrian. Thanks for joining us. So Jennifer, I want you to do that creepy sound that you did while we were coming back from break in my ear. That scared me.
You know,
I don't think it
that
works
would've been
as much
funnier
without
if
the
you-
music.
Yeah.
That would have been funnier
I
if you
think
just
it needs
said
the
what.
music.
If you said what creepy sound. Because both of us went, okay, you can
Damn
stop
it.
that. We've heard that out
I
before.
I
That's
love
not good.
comedy. Why didn't I pick that up? Dave, boom. You know what? It's better with the music. I think it works better with the music. That scared you though, Jimmy.
What? And, you know what? I did want to tell you a story. We have 3 more Lorraine clips we're going to get to, so stay tuned. I want to tell you a story because it's like one of the most exciting. Like I said, my bucket list is done.
Okay, is this a story you wanted to tell me today?
Yes.
And you said no, I'm going to wait, but you can't wait. You're
I can't.
you can't, but I made you, so now I get to hear it. Okay,
Right,
I'm
so-
excited.
Well, one thing I want to do is I want to see the Northern Lights.
Yes.
My next thing is I want to play with baby goats. So
Aw.
next week, Valerie's birthday is on a Saturday.
Yeah. Happy birthday,
Yeah.
Mrs. Haunted.
Thank you. Happy birthday.
Mhm.
And we're going to the goat farm and you get to play with the baby goats, let them climb on you and headbutt you. Then you get to feed the baby goats.
Oh.
Then you dress them up with their jammies for bedtime.
Oh my God.
You get to read them
like
at bedtime,
this is my bucket list.
right?
Stop it.
And you get to read a bedtime story and then put them to bed. It's called.
What's it called?
I've been on this page for about a year and I haven't gone yet. It's called the Goat Nanny page for a goat farm, and we're finally going to be goat nannies for real.
Oh my God, that is the cutest thing ever. You have to take like 20 million videos and pictures. That is fantastic. I love it. And Val, happy birthday. I'm sure I'll, wish you one on your birthday, but just on air because we're not going to be here next week. Happy birthday. We love you, Val. Okay.
Happy birthday. And Stu and Mo just slid into the chat.
Ooh, very good.
So, okay, I told that story, and I think you did your yes scary thing. Okay, we have 3 more clips. We're going to run out of time. Let's hear Dave roll that magnificent footage. Any of those clips will do.
What age did you realize that you had a special gift?
9. I was 9 years old, and I was in a private Catholic girls' school, and I began to see lights around the nuns. And I looked sometimes, and as I looked, I realized I could see lights around some of the girls. But I made the mistake of telling my French teacher that her lights were brighter than Mother Superior's. And that didn't go over too well in a private Catholic school. So from that time on, I kind of suppressed it, but it didn't go away. It never left. It never left me. It never went away. And it did increase very naturally. I've been tested at UCLA for my ability. I didn't go there to be tested. I went there to learn more about Kirlian photography, the ability to photograph the human aura in everything that God creates. I find it absolutely fascinating. Fascinating. And I worked with them, and they wanted to work with me as a natural psychic. I have never read books on it. I have never had training. Everything about it is all natural.
How did you meet your husband, Ed, and how did you two discover that you had the same interests?
Well, that was a continuation of your last question, because I only went out with one boy in my life, and that's the guy I married. I'd never been out on another date before or since. And so he was an usher in the theater, and a group of girls from church were going, it was in the summer, were going to the movies, and they invited me to go. And halfway there, they told me that they wanted to introduce me to this boy, and that wasn't really of interest to me. You know, my schooling, my religion, my family, they were all interests. But, you know, that wasn't of interest. I was 16 years old. And so when we went in, I didn't realize he was the usher in the theater. So I looked at him from his feet right up to his head. And I thought, what a clean-cut looking boy you are. And then after the theater, after the movie was over, he said he was going to treat us girls to a nickel Coke. And I ordered an ice cream soda. And he, from that time on, way into our marriage, he would always say that he knew I was a gold digger from the first day because I ordered an ice cream soda when everybody else ordered a nickel Coke. And so he walked home with us, but his house was first. And he walked ahead of us like he faced us, but was walking backwards, talking to the four of us. And then one of the girls said, "Oh, Ed, we're almost to your house." And he ran across the street. I didn't see that young, athletic, 16-year-old boy. I seen my husband as he looked just before I lost him. And I wrote in my diary on the 23rd of June, 1943, "I'll spend the rest of my life with you." So it was definitely a continuation of the first question.
Would you say it was love at first sight?
Yeah, well, I would definitely say it was love at first sight. Yes, and there has been no other since.
What has been the most haunted location you've ever visited?
I think the United Kingdom has, it's a very old area. We were involved in some extremely haunted places over there. But then all along our East Coast, Connecticut, and all along the East Coast there into the New England states is also very, very haunted because of all our old homes and tragedies that had occurred there through the years.
Can spirits follow you home from a location?
Mm-hmm. And they do. And they do, yes. So that's why you have to take a certain type of protection so that they don't do that.
Can spirits communicate with us through our dreams?
Yes, it's the easiest way for spirit communication to take place is on the dream level.
And one final question. When people lie to you, what kind of aura do you see?
So I have to really tell it's red there. It gets red at certain levels. But you know how people tell a lie and then compound the lie? Yes. Well, it gets redder and redder. Sometimes I insult them. Sometimes I don't.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for visiting us at California University.
You're welcome, dear. Thank you for having me.
Wow, and that was brought to us by California University. Jen,
Wow.
and it's funny because they asked great questions.
They did. She was funny. Oh my goodness.
And I have an aura story.
Yeah.
I tell the truth, even if I screw up or something. I'll say it. I don't care. Whatever. So, one particular class, we're talking about auras. And actually, have you ever seen your aura? Like, I'm sure some people could see them better than others.
Yes.
But if you hold your hand up, like in a dim room, up to the ceiling,
Yeah.
you see that purple haze around your fingers. Or
Yeah.
do you ever
Yeah.
put a leaf? Like, you put a leaf against the wall and take it away, and you can still see the imprint.
Mhm.
We're doing that kind of thing. And she was saying, everybody line up and go one by one in front of the wall, and she'd see if she could read your aura. So everyone was going up, and she was saying, "Oh, yours is beautiful. It's purple and sparkly and all this." And then I got up there, and I was all excited, and smiling like a jerk, and then just looked at me and like kind of made her nose go up and go, "It's nice." Like I think it was her way of saying it wasn't good.
Oh, Jim. Oh.
Hi, Gretel.
I think you have a good aura.
Thank you. I think I'm better now.
Yeah.
So-
Okay. Yes. Right. Because things change. Yes.
Yeah, maybe I was going through a tough week. I don't know.
Exactly.
And we just
Or you
had
were
our
going to
friend-
make a decision that wasn't going to be right, and you didn't know it yet. Who knows?
Probably just a bad day. And Gretel from the Netherlands just slid into the chat room. Thanks for staying up, Gretel. It's probably 3:00 in the morning there. And also in our chat, we have a happy birthday, Nan, in the chat room. Thank you, Nan.
Oh, happy birthday!
So, you know what? Well, there's one more clip. It's not too long, but one of the questions that you get a lot is, and actually we have a couple of cases that are going on right now. That it's usually of the batter variety, if batter is a word, that things start or pick up at 3 a.m.
Okay.
Did you ever hear that? A lot of
Yes.
So I found a little, like I said, I did this last minute, but I found a clip on YouTube that they're asking Lorraine and a few other people why they think, what's their theory on why activity occurs at 3 a.m. I think that's the last clip we have.
Okay. Cool.
Now I'm confused. We have 2 clips left, and I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
All right, play either one. It doesn't matter.
Okay. So
Yeah, well,
this is the
yeah.
Vice and the Conjuring present the devil, or present the devil. And then there's the real Lorraine featurette that's 4 minutes and 13 seconds.
I'll tell you which one it is.
What are you guys?
Well, we've been called ghost hunters, paranormal researchers.
But we prefer to be known simply as Ed and Lorraine Warren.
My name is Lorraine Warren, and I'm a psychic, And my husband was sensitive, you know. He wasn't as psychic I was, but he was sensitive. And we have investigated thousands of cases throughout the world. We've had some bad experiences. I mean, really bad experiences.
The Devil's Hour, 3:07, 3:15, things commonly happen. And the question is why?
Unfortunately, that is usually always right on when there's a serious haunting.
You know, people waking up startled at 3 o'clock for no reason.
Poltergeist playing frisbee with your grandma's fine china, throwing you across the room.
3 incidences, 3 whispers, somebody calling their name 3 times, or 3 knocking sounds.
All night long, just like that. Does it come in threes?
Yeah.
Stops at dawn?
Uh-huh. Anything that comes in threes would be a mockery to Christianity.
Sometimes it's meant as an insult to the Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
It's the psychic hour of the night.
It's usually around 3 a.m. where people are most sensitive to spirit activity or any type of paranormal activity. The veil between the spirit world and our world is lifted in a way.
The problem arises when you deal with the entities who are not so nice, because everything is out there and they're not all our friends.
You have a lot of spirits in here, but there's one that I'm most worried about because it is so hateful.
And they are stronger.
Some of these things you can't get rid of them.
Look what she made me do.
You just have to learn how to deal with it.
Tragedy creates the ghost syndrome. The spirits remain earthbound. They don't know how to accept their death. They're looking for help, but sometimes they don't accept the help.
You're all gonna die. It's standing right behind you.
It's such a negative energy, and it takes a lot of energy to work with the darker spirits because they're so resistant to any type of smooth transition to another side.
When a murder has occurred, or when a suicide or something terrible has occurred, there are repercussions that echo across the multiverse and can come out when the world boundaries are thinner. And people attributed most of this to the devil, particularly around 3 o'clock in the morning, the devil's hour.
Faith is a powerful thing. The belief in such a time, the devil's hour, could be fueling its power. If you go in thinking something spooky is going to happen, something spooky will probably happen.
The devil wants to remind us he's there, that he's around. When you wake up at 3 o'clock, you never know what you're going to see at the edge of your bed.
Is it because it's the darkest just before the dawn? I just know what I can do to protect myself, and I have my faith. And if there's some way, through my knowledge, that I can help people, I love it.
I'm scared.
Okay, that scared me. That was creepy. And so interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh my God.
All right, and I got a message from Jeek in the chat room that we have an investigation tomorrow. It's still happening.
I'm excited for you.
And he wrote, Ed and Lorraine would want us to go.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good thing. Go help people. Wow.
What other stories did I have for you?
Oh, you know what?
Wow.
I think I need to hear about. Okay, let's lighten it up for a minute, Jim.
Okay, go ahead.
Leslie DeNardis.
Oh my God, Jen.
What? You keep kind of telling me Leslie DeNardis stories. We need to share them with our friends here.
I was gonna tell you the story in Atlantic City, and I said we gotta save it for the air.
Yeah.
You know those little things that happen when you're a kid that you just can't get out of your mind for some reason?
Yes. Is this when you started telling me the story on the boardwalk and I told you not to?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Right. I said save it for the show. Okay,
Yeah,
go.
I think this was, and like I said, to everybody else, it's nothing. To me, it was a big deal. It was just terrifying. Okay.
Yes.
Leslie Denard, second grade or so. And these are the classes that, has the lift up desks. You lift it up with your papers in there or whatever.
Yes, yes.
And you'd share desks, like with the next class would come in. And remember, we used to poke through the person's desk. Ooh, whose desk is this? And so one day it was make a necklace week, and they just wanted us to be creative. They said make a necklace out of anything you want. You can just be creative. Like we had one kid, Pat Wynn, whose dad fixed television, so he brought in all TV like parts from television and put it around his neck.
Oh, so this was a planned thing. Like you didn't show up one day at school and they said make a necklace. This was like you can bring supplies. You can bring cool.
It was a big deal because you had to present it to the teacher at the end of the day.
I love this. Yeah.
So
cool. Creative.
We had all kinds of creative necklaces, and we weren't rich, Jen.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I could find around the house was I got a string, and I had Fruit Loops or Apple Jacks or something, and I made the whole necklace full of those. Right.
That's the coolest thing ever.
So it was like
I would have wanted your necklace. Okay, go on.
I'm sure Lorraine loves this story. So I made a Fruit Loop necklace, and I had it in my desk because that's where you put it for at the end of the day when we present them.
Yes.
So when I got to my class, somebody said they saw Leslie looking through my stuff in there and checked. So guess what? There was only crumbs left in the desk. Every Fruit Loop, or Apple Jack, whatever it was, off my necklace, and I had nothing to present except a string.
Didn't she say, "Go get Leslie Denardis. She has the evidence."
And the top.
Oh my God!
This is funny because even as a kid, I thought of this. Her dad was the. I hope nobody's listening that knows her. Her dad was the mayor.
And she's a thief.
And she's a thief. Nobody. It's like there's no way I would get her. She would never get in trouble.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
She got the councilman on her side.
Yeah. We're going to kick Leslie Denardis's ass for this.
I'm going to stalk her on Facebook.
That's so funny. Oh, for heaven's sake. Okay, well, we had to lighten it up for a minute. And, that was scary, that last clip. That kind of creeped me out a little bit.
Yeah, that was very scary.
Yeah, I know. Well, listen, I got to say, so many people were touched by her and her husband Ed, and they brought the paranormal. They brought the paranormal world. They made it popular for people to see. I remember first knowing about them when I was a kid, and I think Amityville Horror came out, and then of course People Magazine, because that People Magazine was our internet, if you think about it, and that's where I first read about them. But
I was wondering how people, because I figured because I'm around here, everyone knows about them, but from other parts of the world, I was wondering how people knew of them.
Yeah, right? Incredible.
I'm sorry, Jen, I don't see the time on my box here.
Well, we're at 8:57 your time, 5:57 mine. I think, Dave, is it time for us? I'm not sure. I'm not getting a heads up from Dave yet. So, 1 minute. All right. Well, let's say our goodbyes. Let's everybody, prayers to the family of Lorraine and God bless.
And thanks for to Jen and Dave for my last minute alterations. Next
of course.
week, we are taking a week off because we're going to go play with goats. Sorry. But thanks everybody for hanging out with us.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Good night.
Good night.